What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Real Ones Canes podcast. That man next to me virtually. Oh, look at the runs. That is Cam Underwood. He's the managing editor at State of the U. Go check out stateoftheu.com. It is simply the best website that covers your Miami Hurricanes, backwards, forwards, up and down, left and right. It is so good. It is free. It's open 24/7, 365, stateoftheu.com. Go follow Cam at Underwood Sports. I'm Brian the Beast London. Follow me at Miami Radio Beast. We appreciate you for watching and listening and subscribing and sharing, commenting, all of that stuff. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for being a part of our world. We love being in yours, Cam. We have a lot to get to. We have a spring game coming up in just a couple of days. But there's some news to get to before that.
Beep, breaking news.
Sliding in, breaking news just the other day as we recorded this on a Thursday. Both Miami Hurricanes coordinators, Corey Heatherman and Shannon Dawson, seem to have gotten new contracts, extensions, raises, all of that jazz. And I am very happy about that. What say you?
I also am very happy about that. We've talked here about especially Heatherman, because I think that he's the more likely one to leave. Like if I were to order who would leave first, I think
higher profile, Corey Heatherman, higher profile.
Yeah, I mean he's younger, he's a rising star, right. Things like that in the industry. Dawson, is a little bit more veteran. And I think like if I were to say, okay, I think both of them could get another job, whether that's a lateral move or a promotion to wherever. But yeah, so we've talked about that and wanting obviously Heatherman specifically because we got the defense looking like defense again to stick around. But yeah, this just shows the commitment to the program that we have built and cultivated. Because I'm sure that they're not making the same money. You know what I mean? So like this is, hey Dan Radakovich, hey Joe Echevarria, kick me a couple extra dollars because we need to keep this talent here, not just on the field, but in the rest of the program. So I'm very, very excited for that. I'm still, hopeful that we get both of these guys for at least 2 more years. Really looking at that for Heatherman because he's not made for the ground, man. Like he's not going to be around long as an assistant. Pete Thamel was the one who reported both of these extensions, reported as we had talked about and knew. Was widely known that Shannon Dawson had applied for some head coaching roles and had some conversations for that. The thing that was new to me that I did not know is that per Pete Thamel's report, Corey Heatherman had conversations for multiple NFL defensive coordinator roles this current off season. So
it's when I saw that it actually clicked because a lot of people you just talked about Corey Heatherman, maybe moving up college head coach. I actually see him going to the NFL.
Okay.
To be a coordinator there. I don't know what it is about. There's something about his personality and just I can't put my finger on it. But from the moment he got to UM, I was like, this guy has NFL written on him in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know why I'm doing that. It's just kind of like a feeling I had.
I mean, we're allowed to have feelings, and I mean it's not without foundation. I mean, especially we lost, 2 coaches to the NFL this past year. Previously, umpteen coaches have left Miami for the NFL, whether that's a Chudzinski, whether that's a Schiano when he went to Rutgers first.
Hell.
Thomas Brown.
Yeah, go back to Jimmy Johnson, Dennis Erickson left.
Oh yeah, I mean I was looking at the assistants more than the top than the head coach, but like still,
assistants, a million of them left for the NFL. So yeah, Miami's been a good pipeline to the NFL for coaching, just as much as they have been for players. So it makes sense. But I love. Listen, I think Mario and you mentioned President Echevarria and Rudy Fernandez and Dan Radakovich. I think the power team, the C-suite, if you will, at the University of Miami, is very intent on making this a program that has lasting power.
Amen.
Has staying power, is consistently good. And we finally have all of the resources we possibly need to dump money into it when we need to.
And I think that we're seeing that right with this here. So, excited for both of those gentlemen, excited for the program, excited for the team, excited for the growth of the players, excited for the consistency. I think that, consistency can get old at a point, but I think that we need that consistent continuity, excuse me. That's the word I was looking for, the continuity of staff, even with losing a couple of guys, three position coaches and your head athletic trainer, this last offseason. But yeah, you keep a lot of the bones of the structure in place, and especially two big pieces in both coordinators. I love it. I'm excited. Congratulations to those guys. Let's keep moving.
Two things. One, we're still looking for another coach that hasn't been hired yet.
Correct.
I don't believe. I know that Terry Jefferson. I know Terry Jefferson's been auditioning for the cornerback's role. I don't know what's going to happen there, but we're still looking for one more hire. That's fine. But one aside that just kind of popped into my brain, because as we think about Miami having the resources to put into it's not only its football program, but really if you walk around campus, you see the dorms they're building, the villages they're building on campus, and what's going on downtown with the medical school. And that's where I want to focus, because she gets a bad rap at times. But if it weren't for Donna Shalala's vision of what she wanted the medical school and UHealth to be, we wouldn't be in the spot, because it is UHealth and the medical school and the hospitals, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. That is what's printing the money to fuel into Coral Gables and the football program and
microphone.
Yeah, sorry, this mic doesn't pick me up when I get far away. If it wasn't for the medical school and UHealth that prints money, it's feeding into Coral Gables and the football program and basketball, and giving Jay Lucas what he needs, and building dorms all over campus and all of that stuff. So, credit to Donna Shalala for kind of having that vision. Yeah,
and obviously sports wasn't great under Donna Shalala, but I will say this. As university president, she ran a pair of billion with a B like boy dollar capital fundraising campaigns. Come on, guys. It's, again, you can give credit to some areas while not just saying whole stock, she was, necessarily great overall. But, academics were strong, very, very strong. We were the highest rated institution in Florida when I graduated. So, I always loved holding that over. Gator people were like, oh, we're better at academics. And I was like, actually, Suntan U was, as per all of these rankings back in those days. And setting that fiscal foundation, man. The Frost School of Music.
Yeah,
I sang at the the ceremony when they handed over a $500 million check, $500 million for the naming rights to the School of Music. And I know you're like, okay, well, that's going over there, but again, to run two separate $1 billion fundraising campaigns is major infrastructure. And I think you're seeing some of that now, but also we needed, the growth. But I'll give credit to that part of her operations.
Right.
And
listen, there's a lot that she didn't do well, and a bunch, but I will give her credit for at least raising some money and that.
Lots of money. Lots of money.
Can I tell a funny story?
Oh my God, please. I like to laugh. I want to laugh.
Real quick. So we were in Atlanta for the Peach Bowl, Miami, Florida Peach Bowl. Not the second Peach Bowl where we got obliterated by LSU and that got a bunch of coaches fired. No, the first Peach Bowl against Florida. And we were at, whatever swank downtown hotel they put the team up at. And I was hosting a talk show in the lobby for the radio station. And, just in the lobby, everyone's walking by, whatever. And my wife went to the Varsity, the famous fast food Atlanta restaurant, to go get us lunch, and brought back a bunch of stuff for whoever, my engineer and producer, whoever was with me, just a bunch of. Yeah. So she went and got a bunch of burgers and dogs and fries and whatever, and brought it back for us. That was very nice for her. So we have all the stuff on the table, and we had eaten maybe an hour ago, and we had all the leftovers just out, whatever, maybe snacking on a fry, whatever. Donna Shalala comes in with security and whatever, and she's coming through the lobby, And she's like coming over towards me, like making a beeline towards me. And I'm like, does she want to come on the air? Like maybe she wants to jump on the air. Like she has something to say. I don't know what's happening. I'm like sweating, like I'm sweating bullets. My wife is like, what is happening? She came over and just started eating varsity fries. And while I'm doing it, literally just started picking my cold fries off the table. Like didn't ask, didn't like just jumped in and started eating fries. And I'm doing a show, like who knows what I'm talking about, the Dolphins, whatever. And she's like, I love their damn fries. And then like grabs a few and then walks away. It was like, that just happened. That Donna Shalala just came over and started eating my fries and took a bunch to go. It was like, I love the damn fries. And I was like, okay, that happened.
That was a funny story.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing.
Till this day, my wife and I, every once in a while, like it'll be like 4 a.m, we can't sleep, and be like, remember when Donna Shalala took my fries? Yep, that was funny. Yeah, so there's a story. All right, so good job on Heatherman and Dawson. I love that we have coordinators that are making money and staying, so that is good. Let's move a little bit forward, and we will preview the spring game in a bit. Let's talk football recruiting. Mario Cristobal continues to build the offensive line like it is the most important thing in the world. Not just getting commitments for next year and beyond, but hey, let's go find a 6'9" JUCO that's going to come in and compete. A 6'9", 335 offensive tackle, Jacob Hawks. And every picture I have seen of this man, and he is not a boy, he is a man, is just I can't stop just being like, wow, he's huge. Yeah,
I mean the size of the offensive line is incredible. I mean, if you're south of 6'6", you're a little boy compared to everybody else. I mean, it's all 6'6", except like Jackson Cantwell 6'8". You know what I mean? Like, and then you get 6'9" Hawks in here. He's a JUCO transfer with 3 years to play, 3 years of eligibility remaining. He'll be here in the summer. Obviously, we're wrapping up spring, and he just committed last week. I think that he's a guy you're going to see he's probably has a higher floor than your incoming freshman. Well, Jackson Campbell accepted, but like he's played JUCO, you lose. You graduate a 6'9", 340-pound left tackle in Markel Bell, and you get another one. Basically, I'm not saying they're the same, but same physical profile. So yeah, I think
that same pathway, kind of.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Exactly my point, through JUCO. So yeah, he's a guy who can maybe find his way into some rotation snaps this year. I mean, just off the top of the dome, I think that maybe 27 might be a little bit more ripe for playing time for Mr. Hawks than 26. But if he's able to get acclimated and up to speed quickly, that's another game-ready dude. And remember, the last 2 years at a minimum, Miami has played 6 offensive linemen starter snaps with rotating left guard and things like that. And then you're going to have additional guys in your super-duper heavy package, which we've seen them go to in the low red zone sometimes. And then you're also just going to rotate guys in there. So you're going to need 9 or 10 game-ready dudes. And if you have some freshmen that you want to take maybe a little bit of a slower development arc with, you can take a guy like Hawks, put him in there, and he, his ability to step in right now is maybe a little bit more ready-made than a high schooler. So I like it. I love it. And I've said this on here before. I'm going to say it again. I am not going to question a single take along the offensive line or defensive line for Mario Cristobal's team. I might question some other things just because, other positions and players have not necessarily worked out. But the big dudes close to the ball, you got it, boss.
Let's talk. Also, they got, I believe, a commitment from another offensive lineman for next year in Tyler Ford from Gainesville, Georgia. A lot of people are talking about, he's only 3 stars, but if you watch his film, his star ranking, not that it matters, should go up at some point. But yeah, they just continue to just add to that interior, or sorry, I should say the line of offensive linemen, and then building that wall to protect whatever quarterback is back there.
Yeah, the Great Wall of Mirabal. Tyler Ford, 6'6", 305, plays left tackle for Gainesville, Georgia. That's a major public school playing major classification football. So you are getting a talented player from a quality program, getting quality coaching, playing against quality opponents. plays left tackle, way more developed as a run blocker than a pass blocker at this point. Shows great movement skills. They run a lot of zone and pin and pull stuff at Gainesville, Georgia. So the first 4 or 5 minutes of his highlight are all just burying dudes in the run game. And he moves well laterally, both to his left and his right, which is great. Took a while till we saw some pass pro in his highlights. Good, but needs more development there, for sure. I think he's probably maybe a little bit more of a developmental guy, might need a mango season before he finds his way onto the field. He's definitely not like a day one Jackson Cantwell kind of a dude. And that's okay. That's fine. Could he kick inside to guard? Yeah, absolutely could. But yeah, I like the baseline. I like the size. I like the athleticism that he shows on the field. So you add him along with Sean Tatum, who's a blue chip guard that we already got committed before. There's the other kid, Zaquan Linton from Palm Beach Central, who's 6'6", 300-pound playing tackle. You're going after Mark Matthews, 6'6", 300-pound tackle from St. Thomas Aquinas. I know Matthews is not in this class, but I mean, you already have 3 great offensive linemen. You could debate who's more game ready than another, but I think that they all have the size, athleticism, and potential that we need to just keep on moving. Yeah,
and I was watching some of the interviews, the post-practice interviews from this week, and Ben Cogden was talking. They asked him, about how loaded the offensive line room is, and he wanted to wax poetic on Jackson Cantwell and kind of stopped himself because he's like, but the whole room is completely packed and loaded, and I'm like, yeah, Jackson Cantwell, he's the real deal, isn't he? Because
he really is.
Yeah,
he really is.
Everything I've seen and read is like this kid, and I look forward to seeing him at the spring game. We'll get into the spring game in a moment, but we do have to talk basketball for a second because
I was waiting too far back. It should be
the roster is awfully empty. And I don't know what to do about that. They literally have, I think, 5 guys on the roster.
Relax.
2 returners in Dante Allen and Shelton Henderson, a recruit in Caleb Gaskins, and they've just recruited a couple of guys. One is a Caden Lewis, who's a point guard, and then the other guy is a big guy, Samto Cyril, who I think has all the size in the world, but kind of looks like a bit of a project. Offensively, we'll see. His defense is amazing. His ability to block shots and wreak havoc in the middle there. Samto Cyril is definitely a tough defender, played in the SEC and had an impact on games there. But where's the rest of the team? What should I be worried? There's only 5 players?
No, you shouldn't. It's an active transfer portal window. It's going to happen. Caden Lewis, considered Miami out of high school, chose Villanova, was second team All Big East. He's going to be here now. Samto Cyril from Georgia, boom, he comes in, as a one of the best centers in the country who's changing teams and whatnot. The other player, and obviously his personal health comes first, is Malik Allen.
That's true.
He did battle lymphoma this year. Missed a season, in his fight against that disease. He's completed all of his chemotherapy and everything like that. We'll see how he's able to, recover to be an elite level athlete after having, battled that disease. So, I mean, technically it's 5 and a possible with Malik Allen. And hey, we're going to get dudes. They've seen what we've done. And Miami's going toe to toe against all the blue bloods in the country in trying to get these dudes out of the portal. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. We already won 2 big ones. So, yeah, I would say just relax, take a chill pill, focus on the spring game. We'll circle back. And, I mean, it's April, and the season doesn't start till what? Basketball season, September, October? We got plenty of time.
All right. I feel better now.
Good.
We don't talk about that other sport unless we have to. So hopefully they keep winning ACC series, and I can.
He's talking about baseball, guys, and he's mad because we lost a midweek game to USF, which is our first midweek loss of the season. Yep. So,
10-1.
If you want to look at the bright side, it's only 1. And hey, at least we didn't lose to Bethune, who has beaten
the Gators.
not just them. They beat Florida, Florida State, and USF in a midweek game.
That is true.
I believe.
By the way, Bethune's always had a sneaky good program, going back a long time. They've always had some good talent. So
or maybe it was UCF, No, I think it was Florida, Florida State, and USF in a midweek game. Hey, man, now I need to see some more sweeps. I need to see, but let's keep moving.
I'm going to get T-shirts printed, Omaha or bust.
I mean, sign me up. I'm with it. I agree. We've talked about that.
Someone on Twitter was going back and forth with me today. Oh, well, if they just get to the supers, that's really good. And I'm like,
no. It's the same thing I was talking about with football when we were, mediocre or worse.
If we could just get to
the standard. No, this is the kind. No. I'm not accepting 9 wins in a second-tier bowl game as successful. It's successful relative to 5 and 7, but it's not success to the level of our expectation. And hey, whatever. If I'm cocky Miami fan and I'm cocky Miami baseball fan, Omaha is again. You've told the story. That's how they broke every practice of the Ron Frazier Wizard, brother. What are we talking about? Brother.
Under Ron Frazier, under Jim Morris, every time they huddle up before a game or practice or after a game or after practice and they broke the huddle, it was with Omaha. That was what they did.
Omaha.
Also, when Jim Morris came to interview for the job, there was a trophy in a bathroom stall, and he's like, why is that in the stall? And he's like, that's where we put the second place trophies.
Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a great joke. But,
whatchamacallit? All right. We're going to take a break. On the other side, we're going to preview the spring game. What do we look forward to seeing? What do we expect? All of that jazz, that is coming your way after this. You're listening and watching the Real Ones Canes podcast. We are back here on the Real Ones Canes podcast. He's Cam Underwood, managing editor, State of the U. Go check out stateoftheu.com and just simply the best website to get all your Canes information. And there's no paywall. There's none of that. No, it's free. It's open 24/7, 365, stateoftheu.com. A great article up there right now about the Canes and the NFL draft, which we'll talk about momentarily. Cam can be followed on Twitter at Underwood Sports. I'm Brian the Beast London. You can follow me at Miami Radio Beast. As of now, I don't have a website to edit or manage or do anything with, but I'm working on it.
Sweet.
I don't know what I'll do with that website, but I'll do something because evidently word coming down is if you don't have a website, you're not going to be able to get credentials for things. That's what's happening in the world of sports media, even though non-traditional media is moving away from websites. But hey, who am I? Cam, just real quick before we get to the spring game, let's just talk about the upcoming NFL draft. And why am I seeing that both Francis Mauigoa and Rueben Bain are slipping? Why is that a thing that's happening?
I just think that there's a variety of thought out there. And I think that different insiders talk to different people. And depending on who you talk to, you get a different picture of the players, for one. For two, also, a guy trying to get some cachet. He put out that report about the Rueben Bain incident from 2024, which was a known thing, but had not been publicly reported. You know what I mean? So he's like, oh my God, and so he kind of put it out there in a way that was, it was very sensational, but I mean, it was also the facts. Rueben Bain was driving in an incident. There was a crash. Eventually one of the passengers of the car did pass away. All this is true. He was cited for reckless driving. That was dismissed. He did not, he was not under the influence of anything. He had shared all of this with everybody at the University of Miami. Every single team, knew about it, had done their investigations, but legally, culpably, everywhere. He's not, it wasn't responsible or, in any kind of malfeasant way. But just to put it out there at this time, then says, in the court of public perception, brings things to question. So I think that there's some people who are gun-shy, oh, well, yeah, this is a kind of a thing, even though, it really isn't. But I think that by the fact of this report of this incident at the time when it has been reported publicly in a wide way, I could see how people could be influenced by that. And again, I think by talking to certain people, then you think that. Also, there's still the ongoing debate about his size and his arm length and where that fits and with who that fits. So I think that those are two of the reasons why you could look at, the most recent mock draft from Todd McShay, who has both Mauigoa and Bain going a little bit lower than some of the other mock drafts, and see why that happened. But, in a similar way to anything else, it only takes one team, right? So if Arizona at 3 is like, we like Mauigoa to be offensive tackle and like a foundation of the team for the next 15 years, like, even if everybody else says absolutely not, I wouldn't take him before 17, where the Lions are, whatever. Hey, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I got the pick at 3. I'm gonna take it up to the commissioner. We're gonna move forward. So, I think that there's a reasonable way, and just everything outside of Fernando Mendoza going number 1, which I still think is a mistake, is pretty much in flux. And I just think that the last couple of mock drafts that have come out have been a little bit more conservative of their evaluation of Bain and Mauigoa specifically.
Yeah. So. As you get closer to the draft, there's always that kind of fog of war around the draft. And stories come out, you don't know what to believe, what's happening, what GMs are really thinking, whose agent is saying what teams are saying what. But I think there might be something to this. I heard the folks on the Le Batard show talking about this, which is, hey, do you think teams could be throwing out there that, Bain or Mauigoa, whoever, are slipping, or they don't like this or that, so that they will fall to them, and that teams before them may not draft them. And I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that teams are looking for any way. Hey, if a player, we love this player, but he's probably going to be gone before we select. But hey, if we put some fodder out there, maybe he'll drop to us, and we get a steal. And, there's all sorts of, I'll call it politicking, but maneuvering when it comes to the draft that most of us are not even aware of, an nth of it. So
right.
I tend to not trust a lot when it comes out this time of year, but I know this. You and I have both seen both of those gentlemen play football for a couple of years now. And if I were starting an NFL team, either one of them would be one of my first picks.
Yeah. They will be there. I'm sure that there are teams who agree with that viewpoint, my friend. They're not going to all of a sudden fall into the mid-teens and 20s and things like that. Could Mesidor go from mid-teens to 20s? Yeah, but Bain and Mauigoa are going very high in this draft. I'd be very surprised if they do. But there are, you try to throw teams off the scent, and you try to, things like that. It's famous. In all the sports, but I know, especially baseball, they're like, hey, we're going to try to find a way to scout this dude, but not actually go to any of his games. I remember specifically Jared Kelnick, random, but he was drafted out of high school from Minnesota or Wisconsin or something. And I forget the team that drafted him. I think it was Seattle. They were like, yo, we were looking at another kid, and they knew we were here for this other kid, but we saw this Kelnick kid and love him. But we don't want anybody else to know about him. So, we're going to find a way to scout him, but not actually go there, to not really give our forward intent to make it known to other teams. So, there could be some smoke screening. There's always that. There's always just, politics, gamesmanship, maneuvering, all these different kind of things. End of the day, mine is going to have at least 3 first-round draft picks. And it's funny, I just retweeted a little bit earlier, the Pride of Detroit, our SB Nation sister site for My Detroit Lions, wrote a piece about why the Lions should take Keontae Scott in the second round. I don't write for Pride of Detroit. I don't. It's not me. I swear for God. But they might be honest. So, it'll be all right. We're going to be in a good time or have a good time with the draft when it comes up.
Yeah, I would. I always love when my Patriots would get a cane. It started. Vince Wilfork coming in. I'll never forget that draft because I was down there a lot because I was a sideline reporter, and Belichick's walking through the building with at the time his kid was up to his waist. Now they're all coaches, but and everyone thought they were going to take Vernon Carey, but they threw a rope-a-dope where they took Vince Wilfork out of nowhere, and it was awesome. Anyways, let's get to the spring game. So it is this Saturday. We're recording this on Thursday. It is Saturday. and Cobb Stadium again, I believe, is where we will have the spring game. And we will have all sorts of fun and festivities for the kids and the fans, but we will be watching some football. And for most of us, unless you've been privileged to watch a full practice because you're a donor or what have you, this will be the first time we really get to see, other than clips and highlights or, pre-practice stretching and all of that stuff. It's the first time we get to see a lot of these new guys in action. And I'll ask two questions. What do you expect to see, and what are you looking forward to see in the spring game? And you can answer those in any order you want.
I expect to see domination. No, I expect to see a team, one of the best teams in America. I expect to see a championship contending team. That's who this program is. That's the DNA of this program. It is the meat and potatoes, the bones and the muscle of this program, quite literally at this point in time. I expect to see star players making plays. I expect to see new names making plays, staking their claim to bigger roles moving forward, like Joshua Moore, like Jordan Lyle trying to get back on the radar. I expect to see freshmen making plays, but also making mistakes. I am so excited for my guy, JJ Done It All Done Again.
Ah, yes.
To get out there and do the damn thing. Because, everybody's guy is Jackson Cantwell. He's the number one role player in America. I remember when it came out, we're looking at this Dunnigan kid from Kansas. The first time I watched his highlight, I said, that's my dude. That's my dude in this class. And I say done it all because at high school in Manhattan, Kansas, he did it all. He played every literal position other than offensive and defensive line. Wide receiver, tight end, running back, fullback, quarterback, cornerback, slot, safety, linebacker, punt returner, kick returner. Did it all and led them to their first state championship. Everybody's been raving about this kid. Multiple players have said he might be the fastest player on the team. JJ Dunn again. That's really what I'm looking for. And I don't feel bad for using my platform to stump for my guy. I've been on that, but also accepting any and everybody else that's out there to make plays. I expect to see hard coaching. I expect to see passion, intensity and physicality, all of those things. And I know I gave you a big long list. What was the other question? What do I hope to see?
Yeah, you already kind of did it with you hope to see, you're looking forward to seeing JJ Dunn again. You're looking forward to seeing X, Y, and Z. So,
yeah. But also, I want to say I'm looking forward to seeing how the offensive line looks because it's being reworked, obviously, after losing graduating four stars. Sure. So that's it.
Yeah, I need to see. Here, let me go back. I expect to see. Here's what I'm just, as soon as I think about what I'm expecting to see from a spring game, I always think there's only one word that pops into my mind. No
injuries.
Well, that's two words, but no, that's not it. Yes, we all agree on that.
Okay.
The one word is vanilla. Is it just so vanilla because it's a spring game and we don't want to give away anything and blah, 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 blah. And I get it, but it also drives me crazy.
Yeah, but you're also installing and running your staples.
No, I get it.
Okay. All right.
I get all of it.
Okay.
It's just whatever.
I'm
also a fan, so whatever. But with the way Mario Cristobal has been talking this spring, I'm looking for juice. I'm looking for physicality. I want action. I want juice. I want some freaking hitting. I want to see what Mario's been talking about. Hey, we practice at this speed, we practice at this level. If you don't like it, don't come here. I want to see some of that.
Okay.
At Cobb Stadium. Okay.
Okay.
And as far as listen, I can't tell you that I don't want to see Jackson Cantwell because I need to see I need to see it in person. I've seen every clip and highlight, but I need to see it for myself. Mm-hmm. I need to see Darian Mensah because I saw him at Duke, but I want to see how he looks in the Shannon Dawson offense, throwing to Malachi Toney and his boy Cooper Barkett. Like, I need to see that. And then 2 positions that I need to see. I agree with you on the offensive line because it's been retooled, and so I need to see how McCoy and Okunlola and like all this stuff goes together. But if there's 2 positions I really want to see, it is linebacker, the whole group of linebackers, not just 2 of them, the whole group of linebackers. And can you guess the other position?
Kicker.
No.
Damn. Thought I had
not even close to kicker.
Oh, tight end.
Yeah, of course. Please.
I don't know how I missed that.
Please give me something.
Come on, Cameron. You know better. I don't. That was a layup. That was a wide
I know.
open,
like
2 steps, nobody around me. And
no, it wasn't like you were on a ladder standing at the rim. Like, just literally all you had to do was catch it and drop it in, and you fumbled the pass.
I feel terribly.
Yeah, it's okay.
That you guys are watching
tight
this,
end. Please
screaming at me like it has to. Yeah, I've let you down.
Please give me something. And I know. Listen, I mean, I saw Elijah Lofton in the spring, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's going to be the most amazing tight end we've ever had." And then we were told, "Oh, he's the best player on offense." And then that didn't happen. So I know that not necessarily what happens in the spring, will translate to the fall. But please, just give me some hope, any kind of hope at the tight end position.
Hey, Gavin Mueller.
Sure.
Step right up. Luka Gilbert.
Whoever it is.
Come on down. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just Elijah Lofton. And I mean, like, we all have our favorites. We all have, players that we like and then some who we would not prefer. Elijah Lofton, unfortunately, is on my would not prefer list at this point. I think that we're trying to make fetch happen. I think we're trying just to, force feed him the ball and trying to make it a thing. And I just don't think that he has the ability to be the player with the size of role and impact in the offense that others do. Sorry.
I think at this point, and maybe I'm wrong, and if I get a chance, I will ask Mario Cristobal about this. But just without having as much information as I would really need to say this, but I see Elijah Lofton as like a situational guy because he can line up at H-back. He can line up at fullback. He can line up at tight end. Like a guy that you can put in there in different offensive sets that can definitely mess with the defense's mind. So I can see that, but I don't know that he can be your everyday number 1 tight end and make the dynamic plays that you need that I'd like to see from that position.
I hate to take it in a different tone.
Oh no.
But you say I don't know if he can. Like, I think that he's proven that he cannot.
Okay. I didn't want to go that far.
I mean, again, I'm being pessimistic.
I was being nice.
I know that usually I'm the glass half full and you're the glass 3/4 empty.
Yes, that is correct.
You on hit.
Whoa, did I just get hit with a 3/4 empty?
I sure did.
Oh,
I sure did.
Wow.
I was going to turn that back on myself because that's my view of Elijah Lofton. I just don't see it. I don't. I'm sorry. And I mean, look, as long as I'm putting my negative opinions out there, also Ryan Rodriguez. I've never seen.
Yeah, but you've been kind of like your dislike for Ryan Rodriguez, not personally, but as a player, has been a trend for a while now. That's not anything new. But duly noted that you were reiterating that.
Yeah. Hey, look, I mean, if people had forgotten, but I mean, I also just wanted to show that, yes, I hit you with the 3/4 empty, but I wanted to put it back on myself and say there's times where I share that level of negativity. But anyways, yes. Also, my negativity with making that layup that you gave, you hit me with that pass for, but gee, Willikers, I can't even believe I missed that. But hey, anyways. I really want to see Coach Vitti coach. Oh, yeah, the West Point guy. Yeah.
Like I need to see dude led a platoon in Afghanistan or Iraq. Sorry for not having that right in front of me, but let me see some of that on the football field, please.
And he's coaching tight ends too. So
yeah,
if you
exactly.
Think you're going to be out here lollygagging and half stepping, nah, boss. I gotta ask my cousin if he Yeah. My cousin went to West Point, and he worked at West Point as a professor. He's him and his wife are getting their doctorates, and then they're going to go back and be tenured professors at West Point when they finish their doctorates also. But yeah, so he's been there a few times, my cousin has. So I need to ask him if he knows or ever ran into, because my cousin played sprint football, not actual football. He was a baseball player, but whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's West Point is not that huge.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and especially from his time as a faculty member, like when I'm pretty sure Vidi was there also, like, so
get
going
some
over there to
get
Michael Stadium and so I'm sure. Or whatever. Yeah.
I also am really looking forward to seeing our receiving core in totality and seeing who's lining up, who's where on the depth chart, and how is that battle going?
I've said it before and I'm saying it again. There's going to be some players making plays at that position, and there's going to be some other players who need to be good teammates and supporting the other guys who are actually on the field. And I know it's tough because that room is nearly as stacked as running back, but yeah, there's only limited numbers of catches. Pretty much every team in America has 4 receivers, not tight ends, but actual wide receivers a year with like 20 or more catches. And then a 5th or 6th dude could be between, 10 to 17 or whatever. But you're not going to have 6 dudes catching 40 balls this year. You know what I mean? So like there's going to be some guys who are cheering on their teammates more than they might want to be. So it'll be very interesting to see. But yeah, that room is very, very talented. I was
watching Kevin Beard's post-practice media gaggle from the other day.
Okay.
And I love Kevin Beard because he comes from the Curtis Johnson school. So, there is no puff pieces coming out. There's no like, I'm going to spread all the unicorns and rainbows about my players. No. It is all real 100% of the time. And hey, anyone in the receiver room taking over that leadership role that CJ Daniels had? No, hasn't happened yet.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah, for real. Malachi Toney still got stuff to. Oh yeah, I keep telling Malachi, number 10 would have made that play, but number 1 ain't making it. Josh Moore, how's he doing? He makes some big plays, but he's got to be consistent. Like it's just like
facts.
It's just like it doesn't matter how good you are. Kevin Beard is going to demand that you are better.
But that's what we want from our coaching. That's what we want from our team. You know what I mean? Like from play to play, from day to day, like you cannot just if you're not improving, then you're regressing. You got to keep pushing. So like I saw all the kids, like the youth teams that went out for the practice and everything. They're mobbing Malachi Toney. But like, dog, you're making that impact because you made that impact as number 10. You dropped. I mean, I'm not going to say drop that ball because it didn't, but like, did you make that guy miss? Did you do like the top tier of what was available to you on that play? No? Wow, that's crazy one, because I remember watching 10 would do that. Light a fire. You ain't, okay, cool. Say less, coach. I'm going to get here earlier and I'm going to stay here later. I'm going to lift heavier and run faster. So the next time you can't say that because I'm 10 and the upgrade to 10 is 1. So you're going to tell me that the other version did it and I can't do it? Say less. That's what I'm talking about. I need that. And I ended last show, pounding my desk here, literally talking about Mario Cristobal screaming at the team, to line the F up and run it the F again. And you got to be physical. You got to do it the F right last week for the tight ends who were not doing what they needed to do in that clip, right? Yo, that's what we need, especially in the spring. If there's ever a time to coach uber hard to get the growth in performance that you need, it's at a time when you're not playing against another team.
Yeah, you got to set the standard in the spring now so that whatever growth these guys and development these guys need to have in the offseason, it sets the tone for that. They go into the offseason and they work it out as much as they can so that by the time they get to the fall, we're not talking about growing and getting better. We're like already there, and it's a matter of just honing and putting it all together to play game number 1. Yeah. So, that's the way it has to be. All right, go check out Cam's website and all the staff. They do a great job at stateoftheu.com. Go please check it out. It's awesome. It's open 24/7, 365. So go do that as soon as you are done watching or listening to this pod. Do us a favor, subscribe. Please subscribe, like, hit the thumbs up, comment, share, tell your friends. We appreciate that as well. Cam, I will be down at the spring game, hopefully with a big-ass hat on so that my head does not roast in the sun. I don't know if you will be down there as well.
I will not, my friend, but
all right.
I will live vicariously through all of you who are making the trek.
I will report back, and we will discuss that next time. Maybe we'll have to do we might have to do a special Sunday show or maybe a Monday show earlier in the week just to recap the spring game. So
that's possible.
It is possible. All right, everyone, appreciate you guys for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. We will see you next time right here on the Real Ones Canes podcast. Peace.